Hi guys, and welcome back. We said we'd do a few more of these every once a month or once every 2 months, and we thought we'd have a catch up because we've been getting bombarded once again with loads of questions
of all varying sorts, aren't they?
Very varying sorts. I did ask on Facebook the other day, if you've got a question to ask, please pop it in there. So I have got all your questions on my phone.
Yeah.
We'll get to them in a minute.
So if you didn't know we was doing this video today, then check out our Facebook page.
Yeah, I do put daily updates on Facebook. I know a lot of you don't have Facebook at all, but if you do, go over to the Northerners on Tour now. I've had not a lot of you also say, have you got a fake page? Now, it's a bit of a long story. I do try to tell you when you message me. We set up an account years ago, didn't we, when we first started YouTube? And unfortunately, it's one of these where it's a personal account, so you can add friends can add you. And that hit its limit about a year ago, didn't it?
But it's like linked to our proper page, our Facebook page. You'll know it's the right one. It's got our logo with a little YouTube badge underneath.
Yeah, well, you've only allowed 5,000 people on that page that we had. And it's hit its limit. So we want to stop using that. But like Mark said, because it's linked to the one that we've set up now with the Northerners on Tour YouTube underneath it, official, we can't close it down because it's affecting the one that we're using now.
Anyway. We're not right sure. It's something we need to look into.
Yeah.
But each of these platforms on social media are a bit of a pain in the bum because we're all completely different, aren't we? So
every time I put something on, unfortunately, it is still going on there, but I'm not manning it. I'm not answering anyone's questions on there. I'm not doing anything on that at all. You need to go for the Northerners on Tour with the YouTube underneath it, the sign, and then just press like and follow. And you're added. That's it. It's as easy as that. And we do put daily updates on there for you, so make sure you go over and do it. Where are we? Where shall we start? So obviously we're not in the UK. No. We've left there. We're now on our travels. For those of you who've been watching us, it's been a bit up and down, hasn't it? Just to say the least. We are travelling down to Greece, we think.
Or that region anyway, aren't we?
Yeah, we've decided to come around the way, shall we say. So we got into France, left there pretty quickly because we pulled in at Dunkirk this time, which was quite good, weren't it?
Yeah, it was all
You were
right.
in France for about half an hour and then straight into Belgium.
And you sneak into Netherlands, and then Germany, where we obviously had the issues with the police stop. For anyone who hasn't seen that video, go over and have a look at it.
Yeah, we'll come back to that in a minute because you've been asking a lot of questions about that one. Yeah, so then we did a night in Germany, just a quick stopover, and we looked at the map and we thought you can either go straight down through Germany, which we did last year.
And Austria over there to sort of northern Italy.
Which we've done. And we thought, why don't we do something a bit different? Why don't we go down the eastern side of Europe? So if you've seen last night's vlog we put out, we ended up in Prague. Oh my God. Yeah, it is my favourite place up to now. Out of all my travels, Prague is the one. We aimed at getting to Prague and staying 2 nights. We stayed a week.
Well, 6 nights in total, didn't we? Because we've working stuff in between to do and editing these videos and upcoming videos.
And the weather.
And then we had a couple of rainy days. So, but yeah, it was good, wasn't it? It was nicer. You liked it more than me. I'm like, the thing is, for me, it's very busy. It can be very busy. It's sort of quiet when we first got there, but it got during the week got busy.
The funny thing is, Sunday was quiet. Then Monday hit, and it was like everyone comes Monday to Friday. It's bizarre, unless you can get some cheap deals on planes and stuff. I don't know, but Mark didn't like it because of the food. Let's be honest with you.
Well, there's that as well for me. I mean, we are struggling over this side, isn't it? And I have tried their beef and stuff. You slice beef in like a gravy with like a dumpling. It was all right, wasn't it? But that's coming up on Tuesday, I think that, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a very, very meat eaters country, shall we say. They call it a lion diet. Anything a lion eats, you be eating, because there's not very much for vegans and vegetarians. They are trying. I've seen a few things, but it's very meat orientated.
But it was that, and it's busy. You've got to watch yourself on the roads, because like if you cross on a crossing and you haven't realised and the light changes while you're on the crossing, they're revving up and wheels spinning off behind you, aren't they? Like, I think that's an offence in the UK, because you're classing UK as a vulnerable road user. If you're on a push bike or you're on foot and you're crossing the road, you're supposed to give way even if the people aren't really supposed to be there. These people, but like, well, they'd be threatening, aren't they? So
is.
I'm not saying that everyone from Czech Republic's like that, but we had it a few times, didn't we, where we was in the wrong. We admitted we didn't realise how quick the lights changed.
They change very quick. They don't give you the time to get from one side to the other, do they? And then they're bibbing you, and you're like, I've only just walked onto the crossing.
Then you've got trolley buses, you've got trams, you've got normal, but you got so it's a cracking place, but just have your wits about you.
Like I say, we've got another Prague one coming out on Tuesday. We've slipped this in for you as an extra because we are getting all these questions and bits and pieces coming through regarding what's happened over the last few weeks with us. So we thought we'd nip this in as well. The second one of Prague will be out on Tuesday. But yeah, you've got to get there. I know there's some cheap dues. We've had friends come for like £99, haven't we, for 2 days?
Yeah, exactly. We did say when we were leaving, I think if you want to go back again, with 3 or 4 nights in an hotel nearby, I think, rather than take the motorhome. I'm not saying it's bad to drive on the normal roads and stuff. It's all right. I felt better on the roads driving than actually trying to cross them on foot, or on our e-scooters. So it's a bit, We
had a question this morning, quickly, a bit about where we stopped in Prague because of last night's video. I do think we've put it in on Tuesdays, but if we haven't, it's on Search for Sites, and it's so central. It's unbelievable. You can actually get taxis in Prague.
Bolt, and you have
like
an app
Uber. Just like Uber, and the lady that was stopping next to us showed me, and it's so easy to use. You can get an economy one, a woman to woman, so you can get a woman driver. You can get ones that you can put your dogs in.
Can you get man to man?
And the other thing we explain about on Tuesday is the cycle routes. They're not noted in Prague, are they? They're not mapped out at all. So they just say there isn't any, but there is.
So there are some, and then they'll just stop, and then I don't know. So, but you're not supposed to go on the pavement, but sometimes we didn't have a.
So more of all that coming on Tuesday. Make sure you tune in and watch it.
Yeah.
So we're in Slovakia now.
Just on the border, we just nipped over 5 minutes north on the motorway, and you're back.
What's that thing that ran out? The vinaigrette.
The vignette it ran out yesterday, and we actually left yesterday. But you need one for this country as well. But it's cheaper in Slovakia. I think it was for 10 days. I think it was about £10 or £11 it worked out. Now I know people said it's a bit of a con and a rip off. It's not really monitored, but
we ain't risking it.
Looking over your shoulder, it's like we'll just pay it, and then at least then it's one less thing to worry about that you get back to the UK and you've got a fine.
Is it really worth the risk?
It's not worth it, is it? Really?
No. Yeah, so we're here now, and we've spent a lovely night outside a church graveyard last night, free of charge, just what we want, out of the way, in the country, just to chill out from being in Prague all the time.
Well, it's actually, as we're speaking, as we're recording this, it's today, Saturday, this will be out on Sunday.
Yeah.
And we're sort of moving further south, aren't we, probably tomorrow, because we're going to like the capital of Slovakia, and that's going to be coming up in the very near future video.
We've got some good places coming up very, very soon. Nipping here, nipping there, but the big places we would never dream of taking our motorhome, and probably you guys as well. And I think that's what you're liking about this tour at the moment. We're taking you somewhere that's very rarely seen with motorhomes or van life, so keep watching. So the other big question that we've had to just put everyone's questions together and put into this slot instead of reading it all out. What happened with the German police? God, what a nightmare.
If you haven't seen the video already, like we say, go over and have a look at it and then come back and carry on from where you left off here.
Yeah, you might get a better understanding
we've had quite a lot. It's been very successful, that video. It just goes to show sometimes action and drama. And if it's not, we don't make it up. We did have one person accuse us of making it all.
Can you believe it? So I think I actually put it on Facebook for everyone to see.
It's a shame. We
must have thought we had a film crew following us.
If we had to do that to get views, I'd knock it in head. I'd go and work at Asda.
Oh, it was a stressful day, guys. It were really stressful. For those of you who have watched it, you've said you wouldn't have stopped. A lot of you wouldn't have stopped. You'd have carried on.
We did have our doubts, but the problem is with something like that, if you're resisting, you start putting blockers up or either drive off or don't stop or whatever.
That's when you do get arrested.
Then we could have faced criminal charges for not failing to stop. So it's one of them. It went back up in mind at the time, I'll be real or not, but
we're quite lucky because a lot of our subscribers are legal based, and you've done us proud this time sending all this information.
One gentleman in particular, he sent quite a bit of information about rules and regulations in Germany and what should have happened, what didn't happen, and on the back of it, I as I said previously, I've sent a letter of complaint. I did get a reply. I got an automated reply, and I've got a proper reply, which was in German, which I've translated, and it reads along the lines of we're investigating the matter, forwarded it through to the relevant section, and they're going to speak to the 2 officers who did the stop and the checks and everything, and get their version of events. And that's as far as it's gone at the minute. So this sort of thing is going to take a while. So we will keep you up to speed.
I do want to say that our main complaint was the lack of communication, them telling us what was happening, and plus the damage to our van.
Yeah.
But as motorhome owners, we agree. We like the fact that people are getting stopped and asked, is this your motorhome? It's a routine check, which he said. But it went a bit further than that.
Well, the problem is he blatantly lied to me, because one of the things he did say to me during the stop, before we got told to follow, they detained the paperwork or kept all the paperwork, which summary is basically detaining you, because you can't just let your free will go when they've got your passports, your driving license, your vehicle V5. I mean, the insurance will only have printed copies. That's irrelevant, but they've got all that, and they refused to give me back. Said you follow it, you must follow, and that was it. They was in the car and moving, but they lied to me, because they said that the VIN numbers, or the vehicle identification chassis numbers, don't match. And as you can see here now, clearly these are ones which, one in the windscreen, you've got one from the slam panel on the bonnet, and there's one in the driver's door aperture. When you open the door, there's a little cover, and you take it off, and they kept looking and looking, and as you can see, it's clearly as day, but all the numbers match up. There is one on the chassis stamped on the leg under the driver's side front wheel, but it's raining today, so I can't get a picture of that, but you can clearly see that them numbers match up. And anyone without very much understanding of a vehicle, if you ask them to look at them numbers, do they match up? So in my eyes, they lied to us, then they told us that we've got to follow them so we can do further checks, and took us to this facility inside of a police station, the compound with a checking facility.
Locked us in.
They did nothing at all in regards to checking the vehicle for safety. They didn't check the tyres or brakes or lights or anything. They didn't check that I was fit to drive. They didn't check the vehicles. They never mentioned that. It was just kept going on and on about these numbers, and then they decided they wanted to sort of interrogate the computers to see if they all matched up. Well, there's enough there with what's on the vehicle. You can see clearly that
the worrying thing is they didn't even have the correct tools to get the covers off to get into the ECU.
Well, they asked me to take the cover off, and I'm like, no, I just like and it's okay. We have tools, and they went and got a screwdriver eventually, but they shouldn't have needed to have done that. The numbers matched up. What you've got to be also mindful of is, fair enough, if a vehicle gets stolen, if it ends up in Europe, if it's right and drive, it's not going to be much good to try and use if identity's been changed and so on, because it's right and drive. It's obviously a UK vehicle, so I don't know. It's one of them. We get it. We don't mind being stopped. We got stopped by Spanish police last year, and they was nice as pie. We did exactly the same at the start. Asked for a ID. Check. And that's all we ever got told it was. So
the be-all and end-all of it is we've had a few German people contacted and said they've done everything lawfully, but we've looked into it and they haven't.
No, it's not.
It's not lawfully to their rules and regulations. They must have known they weren't doing properly the procedure that they should have done.
Well, the thing is, and despite we've had a few comments and that it's normal for Germany and everything else, and that you're in a different country, that's nothing to do with it. No. We're human beings. We've still got rights, and we was doing nothing wrong. We wasn't speeding, wasn't driving when we hadn't got things like seatbelts weren't on or anything. We got nothing, and at the end of the day, they let us go, which proves it was completely guilt-free. We'd done nothing wrong.
They told us there was a routine check. That is all we got. But to me, they were looking for a stolen motorhome, and that's what they were looking for. If they'd have told us that, we could have understood the extensive searches on the van.
But there you go. So moving on from that, again, if you haven't seen the video, go check it out.
We're still waiting for them to come back to us as well.
And we will update you, because then we're going to sort of go to the next stage and sort of present the evidence that, and it's still broken. We've had a lot of people ask, is it fixed? No. Will it invalidate your MOT and the insurance? As far as I'm concerned, it's a bit out of my hands. It's a fault which will get rectified.
But not in a country where the language barrier is so bad. We're not quite sure what they could go in there and do further damage. So we're going to have to just stare at it for the next few weeks, I think, and of months.
But
whatever.
we have also spoken to a subscriber who's offered to sort it out when we get back. The consensus is that little ECU, the software has been damaged or something like corrupted, so it's going to have to be sort of set and reprogrammed.
Mark is trained in diagnostics, and he's done everything everyone sent to him and everything he knows to do.
It will get fixed.
You think it's actually damaged, don't you? So.
I think so, yeah. I mean, even if I've been thinking, do I try and buy myself a diagnostic tool out here but I don't want to waste several £100 or euros if it's not going to fix it. So that's where we're at with that. It's still on at a minute, unfortunately. I did disconnect the battery. We've tried
he's
all
done
sorts.
everything. He's gone out and done a rain dance outside, gone on his hands and knees and turned round 3 times.
I left the battery off for like 30 minutes, and it's because the software. Working. It's not. It could just be damaged, the software or whatever. So there you go.
Anyway, a lot of you have also been asking as well, where are we going to end up on this tour? Now, I did say to you that we were going to try and get into Turkey. Events, recent events are changing our mind a bit because...
There's something going off. I've not looked into it yet because we're not near enough. But
thank you to all the messages we've had as well saying, please don't go to Turkey. It's kicking off there. We're watching the situation. There's that's deterring us from going at the moment. But the other thing is as well, CHICCO has to have a titter test.
Titter test or whatever.
Titter test.
But blood
2 weeks
sample,
before you enter Turkey. So I don't want to put him through that, and then things are still quite hostile over in Turkey, and we don't even go. So we'll play it by ear on that one, guys. We're not sure.
We've been out here as of this video. You've seen this video just short of 2 weeks. So we've got loads and loads of time left yet, and you never know. We might end up back in Benidorm. So.
Says who?
No, I know we won't.
You pop that in when they're all here, but you won't say that in private.
But we've got loads of time, so it might change. We honestly don't fully know where we're going to be. We'll likely be. I know you're about Greece. I want to go to Bulgaria and stuff.
Yeah, so. Well, the other thing is as well the weather, because we've come over here the beginning of the year. A lot of seasons. I mean, Prague doesn't open till April. That's like mid-season.
That's what they're saying, even though we're busy, So
I've been looking, and at the moment, Bulgaria's quite cold.
Croatia
and Greece are quite cold, but we're not sun worshippers anyway. We're not beach babies either. So it's just which way we go from here. Do we go down Bulgaria, come back through Greece and Croatia, or do we go Croatia, Greece, and go back to Bulgaria? Whichever way, we will be going to them countries, but it's just which way we go. We're just not 100% sure yet.
Yeah.
We are getting to a stage where we're going to have to make us mind up, because we'll be quite at the southern part of Europe where you're going to have to go either left or right.
Yeah.
So we'll keep you informed. No doubt you'll catch up on our vlogs anyway, and you'll find out where we go.
What's your space we're trying to show you on this trip? Something a bit different to the norm. You see a lot of on people's trips in motorhomes now, where they're going to
France,
Spain and stuff.
Germany, Spain.
So we're just trying to mix it up a bit and saying, look, you can come to these places. They are safe. You can do it. You can go and get your shopping.
And there are places to stop. Don't worry about it. The money's a bit different. A little bit different.
Yeah, it is in the Czech Republic. I still can't get my head around. But we're coming to Slovakia now. We're back on the euro. So it is still, I believe, cheap. So that's
and they've got Tesco's out here as well. It's mental.
Q&A time, isn't it?
Let's get down to these questions you've sent us. We're not going to go into depth in too much of these answers because we've done about 20 minutes already, I think. Right, Jake James. I know Mark has a background in mechanics. What would you do in the event of a breakdown?
Fix it. Well, no, I mean, because I made a bit of a boo-boo this time because I've just replaced the tap on the kitchen sink. Must have been leaking for a bit.
Yeah.
And I've realised I've left quite a few tools back
in the UK.
So I haven't bought what I really need, to be honest. So, but we do have breakdown. We've got breakdown through the bank, through Nationwide, and we do it's European breakdown cover.
That's another question you've just incorporated there as well. What do you do for breakdown cover?
It covers the size of this motorhome. Off the top of my head, I think the weights, I think it used to be 3.5 tonne. I'm sure it's 4.5 tonne now. Something like that. I know the weights, but I think it's a maximum of 7.5 metres, I think. And I know our motorhome just fits in. They don't cover you for really big tag axles and stuff. So
yeah, we have an account with Nationwide, like Mark said. It's a flex account. We pay for it monthly, and it covers
phone
breakdown,
insurance, everything, doesn't it?
Health insurance while you're over abroad as well.
Yeah.
We just let it concurrently run with our bank, you see. So we're not up to date with travel insurance, who the best company is to go with. So I do let you know on the message when you send it to me.
And we have had questions about that as well.
We do. We get a lot of questions about health insurance and what would you do if you get sick over there. And
we do get a lot of that, don't we?
Yeah.
We have been poorly now and again.
I was poorly the other night, believe it or not. It got to 11 o'clock. I just got some really bad pains in my stomach. And I was in the bathroom for quite a while. Woke up the next day, fine. But it goes through your head. We're in Prague. What do I do? Where do I go? Is it 112 or something over there?
It's 115 in Slovakia. I always check to make sure different areas, but they all got ambulances. And
if you're going to travel around that, the best thing to do is when you get into a new, like we're in this country now, find out what the number is for emergencies.
Yeah,
just
you
have
must
it
do
handy.
that,
And then you know, I mean, I could have been, because Mark wouldn't have known, and if I'd wrote it down somewhere, he could have rang for an ambulance for me or whatever, or rang for help. But I'm here, I'm all right.
It was just like something didn't agree with.
It was weird, it was strange, yeah, but it does come across your mind what's going to happen next.
So yeah, and we've got the insurance with the bank. We've got the NHS health cards, aren't they? What do we call them now?
EHIC.
EHIC, the European.
Yeah.
So
you can apply for them. Go online and look it up. They're all free, and you're supposed to be, if you produce them and you need treatment. If you produce them on there, they're supposed to be. You can claim the money back when you get back to the UK or something.
We also have got a credit card specifically put to one side, which would cover should anything happen to us or to CHICCO and stuff. Is a decent amount of reserve on that. And that's it, isn't it? So with all them, we all right. Aren't
I mean, the way the NHS is going back in England anyway, you're not guaranteed to get treatment over there either, are you? So,
but we're always a bit cautious of what we're doing. If I ever see something as a risk when we're doing something, even when we park the van up, if it's quite high up, we'll get a step out, even if it's in the car park. Because last thing you want to do is step out and go over on your ankle and break it. So I might come over having accidents.
Mark, we're talking about Mark here. I should have him in gold health insurance, shouldn't I? The best of the best. Nicola Benham, my question is, where in the UK is your favourite place to go?
UK?
Yeah.
I don't know, to be honest. Because we've been all over the place.
I know.
Why?
Well, I always say it on here when we go there, we stop in Morrison's car park.
Yeah, I don't know. We've been that many places, haven't we? So somewhere is a good Chinese for me.
Well, man, Stamford, believe it or not. Of all places, Stamford. I do like to be on the coast. Anywhere on the coast is good with me. But Stamford, again, just like Prague, I don't know where it is. I love the history. It's such a lovely place to be.
Yeah.
So I always say it every time we go, this is my favourite place in the UK.
And we stop in the Morrisons there for free, don't we?
Yeah, that's probably another reason
they tolerate,
why as well.
They did do anyway. I didn't mind Woodall Spa. We've been there a couple of times.
That's nice
see
as
our
well,
friends over there. But that's nice and chilled out. And I do like that little park where we stay on there.
Jubilee Park.
Yeah, that's nice there.
Dawn Cox, we often wonder how you manage with water in regards to showers and toilets when off-grid all the time. How do we manage?
We struggle at times, but we do get, we've got a decent sized water tank. I could do with bigger, but the implications are the weight of the van. So we carry plenty of drinking water. I'm looking down there now. We've just been and bought some more bottles of water, haven't we?
5 litres we've bought.
In Europe, it's so much easier to get water. But during the winter and this early spring, it's difficult because a lot of the taps turned off, but a lot of like petrol stations and the airs and stuff that you pull, and most of them have some source of getting water you can use to wash yourself and flush your toilet and stuff.
And if we do tend to find places in the UK where we can get water from, we don't tend to broadcast it because we find that everyone starts using it, and then next time we go, they've turned it off.
It just everything gets abused, I suppose. But yeah, we struggle in the fashion, but we're careful with it. When you wash up, you don't use a lot.
Dawn seems to empty a toilet every day. Have you ever thought about getting a second cassette, Dawn? I don't know if you've got a motorhome or a camper, but we have 2 cassettes, which comes in very handy with this one here, especially.
Yeah, so.
Right, next one. Liz Art. It will be interesting to see Lisa's favourite place to visit. What features make it this good? Well, we've just said, haven't we? I'm Stamford and I'm Prague, you'll see. Just wait for the second one to come out on Tuesday.
You like Barcelona as well, didn't you?
I love Barcelona. That was my favourite, but Prague's overtaken it.
The Barcelona one, when we went last year, we parked about 20 kilometres north of the city on the outskirts where it was safe.
And got a train
and got like a little commuter train in, and it was only cheap to do that. And we would never go in the centre of Barcelona.
Barcelona, you need 2 weeks. Prague, I don't know how these guys go on these 2-day jobs because you need a week.
Well, if you're going just to drink and
Easily.
stuff and staying around the bars and that's how you buy, they're fair enough. But to sightsee and stuff, you know, we said on the video that each area is small enough to walk around, but on the grand scale of it, it's quite a big city when you cover it all, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. Lisa Lewins, apart from the French crit air sticker, what else do we need, and do we order them in advance from the UK or buy at the border at the time?
No, definitely like a French one. We'd never had a French one because we've
don't
never
do cities in France.
Not really, no. And most of the motorways you can go through like around Bordeaux and stuff, and we don't include the low emission zone, so you're clear of that. The only one we've ever got was one in Germany, haven't we? We've got the German one.
Yeah, the German one,
Which stays with the vehicle for life, and you apply for that online, and it takes a couple of weeks to come. So I led to believe the French one's quite complicated because they need all sorts of details off your V5.
Do it while you're in the UK.
Definitely. Don't leave it till last minute if you're thinking of doing it as well.
Yeah, definitely. Linda West, how do you decide where to go all the time, please? And how do you agree on it? I'd say 9 times out of 10 it's me at picks.
In a way, so this is a bit what maybe a lot of people don't realise is that there are places perhaps we'd love to go and spend time, but maybe it's not going to make an interesting video. And sometimes we're sort of driven by we're researching to try and understand what you guys want to watch. And like, you know, if we keep going back to the same places and stuff, it's maybe going to come over a bit boring. And I know a lot of you might say we love just watching you whatever you do, but we're trying to work out where we're going to get people interested. Look at our videos.
Yeah, a lot of people say we'd love to do what you do, but it's nice if you're just motorhoming and just freely driving around to different places. Unfortunately, we've got to think about places that we need to put on our videos.
Well, it's fortunate or not, isn't it? But
there is some places. I mean, I would like to have stepped in Prague longer, but we can't because we've done 2 videos already, and we can't just keep putting the same content out all the time.
And we do rely on the revenue what we get from YouTube.
It pays for our travels.
So we carry on doing this. So it's sort of catch-22 because if we just show you the same thing and our views drop off, then we'll have to sort of call it a day, won't we? I guess. But yeah, that's why. And we're constantly looking at thinking, right, where is it where people haven't been so much in the motorhome, or where other people's maybe been and they've liked it and it looks like it's a nice place. So.
But Linda, 9 times out of 10, I'll sit there an evening, I'll look where we are now, I'll get Google Maps up, do a wider version of it, and I'll look and think, oh, that sounds interesting, or I've heard of that place. I'll do a tiny bit of research on it. Is there anything to go and look at there? And then do we think that you guys would like it? And that's how we pick. It's as simple as that, really. Mary Healy. Mary's always commenting on our Facebook.
Hello, Mary.
If you ever stopped Vanlife, where would you put your roots down?
Benidorm.
No, we wouldn't. He would
Never
in a shop.
Never. We've not thought of that, have we? And we've not thought. Well, we haven't. We don't know. When we go to bed at night, I'm not thinking how long is this going to last for. People want to watch it.
No, but it's like saying now, how long am I going to live for? Isn't it? You don't want to think about it. You just get on with it.
Yeah, we get people want to watch his videos. People are subscribing.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're thankful for everyone who do subscribe and watches that it carries on. So,
as we have told you in many of other vlogs, our house is still there. It's still up for sale. It is being rented at the moment. We have no intention of going back to it. It is occupied at the moment, so it's not really our house. It's our on paper, and that's it. As soon as that sells, maybe we might, in a few years' time, get something in the UK, but we will never give up travelling. We've got the bug now, haven't we? We just love it.
Definitely, yeah.
I'd love to go further afield, like we've mentioned. We'll speak about that another time. But when we come back to the UK, we can't keep doing the same place in the UK, so we've got to keep it nice and juicy for you guys. And we're probably going to be looking at doing a few trips overseas without the motorhome.
Which isn't in Europe, because obviously with the limitations and what we've got.
We've only got, we're going to have to reset the 90 days, so we've got to go further afield. But we'll look at it when we get back. One here from Sandy. Is it Magnaron? I think it's how you say it. If you retire from van life, everyone wants us to retire. Would you open a Chinese?
I don't know, because I'd eat it all. Well, we said this before.
Sandy. It's a swear word in my vocabulary, is that word. Chinese.
I tell you what, if you go to Czech Republic or Czechia, as they call it, or Czechia, or whatever, there's loads of Chinese and Asian food there, isn't there?
Yeah,
So.
and it's cheap as well. And before I go on to the next question, a lot of people are commenting, actually, Mark, complimenting you on you losing a bit of weight.
I've lost a little bit, haven't I? It's sort of slowed down now.
All he's doing is cutting his portions down. He's not doing anything else. He's just literally not eating as much.
Not a lot of sugar anymore. I'm cutting my sugar down.
Yeah.
I used to have, like, when I'd be editing, whenever it be day or night, I'd be there, sit there with a bag of sweets, and while I'm concentrating, I'd be like this, and you don't realise, and think, oh, I'm sure you've nicked them, half the bag's gone. And it's no good, is it? Because you sat there, you see. So
that's the problem with van life. There can be a lot of sitting around, so you've got to make sure you have a healthy balance. And for over the last 2 years, we've not been doing that healthy balance. So you see us out and about, we do get exercise, but it's very easy, especially in winter when you're in the van a lot, to just sit in picking and snacking.
Yeah.
Linda Davis, my question would be, how do you film yourselves when you're on your e-bikes and scooters and we see the both of you together from the back? Do you want to know the secret? We've got a little helicopter and CHICCO jumps in it and he films us.
He doesn't.
CHICCO cam. No, I'm not kidding.
I've shown it previously. Got a little drone. We bought it last year. When
DJI Neo.
So DJI Neo, when it first came out, we got it from Spain last year. There is a fault with it, actually, because it loses its way and it hits you sometimes.
It attacked you the other week, didn't it? It went straight into his chest.
So, yeah, and that's it. And you just basically, you don't even need any control. You just tell it to follow you. We set off on the scooters or e-bikes, whatever, and away we go. So we'll be more footage coming up of that. We haven't done it for a bit, have we?
Just gives you a different perspective to what's going on, doesn't it?
And it's just films in 4K and it just follows where we go.
We got it as soon as it came out, didn't we?
Yeah, the only thing is, because of you got to be careful, there's not a lot of people around, because it probably hit them, and I don't think they'll take kindly to it. So
that'd be a vlog, wouldn't it? Cracker. Gareth Young, as someone who is looking into starting full-time van life, what advice would you give someone starting out? You guys have always been an inspiration to take the leap and do it myself.
There's a lot of things. We could sit here for a full 30 minutes talking about it.
I can give you a very quick answer to that. If you've never done van life before, Gareth, if you've got a van, start doing some longer trips out, see if you can cope. If you've not got a van, hire a motorhome and go on a holiday in one, because what you see on the camera might give you a different perspective to actually being in the van. It's not just a case of you land somewhere and that's it, you just sleep there.
Yeah.
There's lots of things that go on in the background, like your security of the van and setting
even
up where
down
you can
to
sleep.
Power management and getting, like we answered earlier, getting the water and emptying your it's a lot of there's a lot of aggro and getting places to get you washing, because if you're doing it full time, I don't know of many van lifers, if that's what you want to call us or whoever, who can afford to stay on caravan club sites every day. You just can't afford to. It's more than you could live in the mansion, probably, couldn't you?
We do have people buying motorhomes and they've got 100-watt solar power and they've got like a 200 amp hour
well,
battery.
100 amp battery or something, lead acid, which you got half the capacity.
You're not going to survive.
Perfectly all right to start with, perfectly all right for your lights and maybe charging your phones and stuff. But as you're getting into it, you need a little bit more. So.
Yeah, do your research and make sure it's something that you can affordably. It's right getting the motorhome. It's everything that comes with it afterwards. And that leads us on to another question, Mark. Tina, you've just said your name's Tina. How do you survive off grid for so long, and how is the new battery?
All right, yeah. So it's been spot on, hasn't it? We haven't. I don't think we've ever run it down where it shut down the power. I cycled it once when we first got it to sort of get the lower end of the charge and the top end, and it sort of calibrates itself. But we've never run out of power ever.
And if you don't know, the new battery is the Fogstar Drift.
Yeah.
Is it 620 amp hour?
628.
And it's got the nickname of the Beast.
But the link to it is I'll put it in this video description. Just give it a check out if you're really considering it. I mean, we worked with other brands previously. We've not had a problem, but this was suited us. One battery, which covers us for quite a bit of time off grid. Like today, it's under sort of trees and it's drizzly and grey, and you're getting no solar. But I know that when we do get sun again, we'll charge up with our solar panels and everything else. So.
And everyone that's messaged me, I have sent you one back and I've told you we can't recommend Fogstar enough as a company. They're fantastic. Really, really good.
But the thing is, I mean, we've not really experienced customer service because we've not had any problems at all. I've not had to contact and say this isn't right or that's not right or it's lights are flickering because it's been perfect.
So yeah, if you're in the market for a new battery, please head over to Fogstar and they'll help you find out which one would be more suited to your needs. Andy Robertson, how many more years do you hope to get out of your current van? If you were to change it tomorrow, what would you buy? I'll have a Morello, please. Is someone going to buy me one?
But you know, the thing is, this often crosses my mind because we keep doing fixing on this. There's things, we still like the cabinet the fridge freezer fits into the wall. It's not dead secure. It's safe. I've got to sort that out. They're quite common on the Boleros and the Bessacar, the same model. And when I've looked at them, old ones that's been for sale and stuff, they come away from the wall. I think there was a bit of a defect. But there's that to sort out. I'm thinking about the mileage because we're getting 80-odd thousand mile on it now, you know. So, and I'm thinking, but these are good for well over 100,000 mile, these engines.
The worrying thing is we get so many, and I mean so many of you sending us messages. Yippee, you've picked your brand new motorhome up, you spent nearly off £100,000 on it.
We'd love to do that.
I'd love to do that, but the one thing that puts me off is they don't seem to happen for very long. They've got to go back to the dealer for this snagging list.
Talking the technical...
When you're living in it, we can't be doing that.
The problem is with very new vans, obviously, the laws for emissions are squeezing manufacturers of these vehicles over time, squeezing them. It's got to be Euro 5 and then it's got to be Euro 6 and then Euro 6B, which is like an in-between before the next level. And each version of the engine, it's got all these systems on to try and monitor the emissions to make sure it's as clean as possible. Yeah. And after the exhaust treatment systems to make sure the fumes, what's coming out, or particulates, if you really want the fancy word for it, no, you know, it's not going to harm people. But there's so many systems, and this AdBlue and DPF, and if there's any issues, you just get warning.
See, our Betty, she's an old lady, but she never lets us down, and it's the one thing that stops me. I mean, I'm not 100% with a few things in here. The seating in the front, it's not the most comfortable for me, but if you're going to get a van, guys, make sure the layout works for you. The amount of people that get a van and then they're on the third van because the layout just doesn't seem right. You need to make yourself a list and tick every box before you buy that van.
Or build your own or whatever. But if you're into something like what we've got, a motorhome, what's done for you, make sure it is right, like you say, it fits to what you want. Because like if you invest in it, we've had obviously things which are sponsored, but we've spent so much money on this to make sure, but we've had the time to use it as well, haven't we? All the time it's been installed. We're not having it all installed and then getting rid and getting something else because it's not the right layout. So
that's one thing that puts me off as well. Getting another van is we'd have to shift everything from this to that one. Oh God, no!
I mean, you know,
who knows? We might start up tomorrow and engine might blow. Touch wood, it doesn't. Well, you can't predict the future, can you?
We've done about 800-900 mile now, and since we left the UK, and I was checking it when we was up in Prague.
Is that all? It feels like more than that.
I know, but we checked I checked it underneath, checked the oil over levels. I'm looking. Not only am I checking the water levels and the engine oil levels. There's a good tip for you actually. Looking things like the hoses. Are they rubbing against something? Has something moved? There's a wire rubbing against something. What's hot? Just make sure everything's right, because the most cause of breakdowns is if a water hose or a coolant hose or a vacuum hose or something's rubbing, then you get an hole in it, because obviously if it's water it leaks. If it's like carrying air or something, it's obviously can play with the systems on the vehicle. So I always look at that and make sure everything's not what we call rubbing or chaffing, and things like a radiator, make sure that's secured. And
there you go, top tip from Mort there. Didn't know that were coming. John Cusson Ward. Hope you're well. Just wondering, what is your favourite Chinese meal?
It's quite basic, really, for me. It's everything on
the menu.
Yeah, I like chicken fried rice, sweet and sour chicken balls, big ones in batter. But I do like Cantonese as well. That's quite nice. And then not that many places over in Europe do it, but you can get salt and pepper or salt and chili chicken.
Oh, you set him off now.
Oh, it's making me hungry as I'm thinking about it.
Oh, God.
Prawn toast is nice, isn't it? But I do like the fine noodles that you get now as well. What's on noodles?
Kellyanne Turner. I went to school with Kellyanne Turner. I did. If you could go back to day one of your van life journey, what advice would you give yourself?
It's a difficult one, that, isn't it?
It is, Kelly. That's a bit in depth.
One thing I would say is if you like it, because when we talk about van life, we don't really class ourselves even now as van life. I know some of our titles will say it, but we want to appeal to the larger audiences, people who don't have motorhomes who may be thinking, what's van life?
We class ourselves more as travellers, don't we? Travel in a van, that's
but
it.
One thing I would say is if you're getting into it, if you buy yourself a caravan, a motorhome, or whatever, you convert something, and you go away in the weekends if you're working, what you'll tend to find is if you do like it, you want it more and more. So you get like hooked on it. You get like the bug, if you call it, and then you're thinking, what can I do? I'm going to keep booking time off work, and you're scratching your head, and you're thinking before you know where you are. It sort of it can spoil your work-life balance because you're wanting more and more of it. This
is how we came about.
Yeah,
we just got sick and tired of rushing back after work on a Friday, going away Friday night, Saturday, and coming back Sunday for Monday morning's alarm clock.
For me, it was like we was driving back from, you might be other end of the country, or you have 2 weeks away and you're driving back to go back to work. It's not a nice feeling. You'll know what it's like. Needs must, obviously, and this is what we do for work. We adapted and changed, didn't we? And we're dead lucky that people like to watch us. So.
And she's put there, what's valuable knowledge for a van life experience?
It just depends. There's so many aspects, isn't there? There's things like the park ups and stuff that we always park with when we go to bed at night. We don't leave stuff strewn everywhere. If we have to shoot off quick, if we get told by police to move, or
there's two different ways you can go with van life. You can either get a van and you can go on a campsite for every trip that you go on. That's fine. If that's what you want to do, that is absolutely fine. Or there's a way we do it where we would rather park up, like at the minute we're outside a cemetery on a road. So
and it's noisy, isn't it? It's a straight road.
Yeah, it's noisy, but you get used to it. You get used to all the different sounds and noises. You can make it as expensive as you want, or you can make it as cheap as you want. We've gone down the cheaper way to make sure that we can sustain doing it full time. So it's hard for us to really give you an experience that everyone's experiences are different, really, really different.
But maybe if you're looking, like, if you start out, don't go mad on buying stuff, because we've gone out and bought things like gas barbecues and stuff, and all that. We don't even carry it anymore.
You do tend to, especially if you're on a site or you go to shows, you tend to get a little bit carried away by
carpets
saying, then next door they've got carpets, they've got reclining chairs outside, they've got
it's like home from home, isn't it? But
they've got fancy gas barbecues.
We'll be going during this trip. We'll be stopping some places, and like for a mini holiday, if you will. It's like we did in Benidorm or wherever, and you put awning out on the carpet stuff. But we don't have tables and extra freezers, and we just don't do it anymore. If you cook anything, it's in here, and if it's really hot and you can't bother, we'll go out and get something to eat.
When you first start doing full-time van life, it feels like a holiday. It's not this, and then finally you just settle down and you think, well, this is just everyday life for us now. This is home.
It's not an holiday, is it?
No,
we do have breaks. Like we've been in Prague for 6 nights, and that was a bit of a, because we've done a lot of driving to get there, more or less non-stop. But that was like a bit. So, but now
we're constantly still thinking Tuesday's coming, Friday's coming. We've got to get vlogs done.
But that's it. Don't go out mad and buy everything, because you might find a lot of the stuff you want. People go through fads and stuff.
We sold a lot of our stuff because we couldn't get it in the van. Kadaks and things.
It's only so much stuff.
I mean, it's raining now. We can't cook outside, so I can't all start that around with us. Tony Metcalf, what's one gadget you couldn't live without in your motorhome?
Chopsticks.
No, I know what you're going to say.
Probably my laptop, to be fair. So.
Yeah. Nothing to do with the motorhome. If we didn't have the laptop, believe it or not, we wouldn't be in the motorhome because we couldn't afford to do what we're doing. So it all rolls down to the laptop, doesn't it?
You've got your own laptop, which you use now and again, but I've got mine, which I'm on all the time, mostly editing and answering emails and stuff. But we use it for watching some of the stuff on like YouTube and Netflix. But we do have a projector as well. That's nice, isn't it? As a bit of a luxury. But we don't always use it all the time.
I'll show you what mine is, actually. It's here. I was thinking, looking around now, I've just had to unclip it. This is a right gadget. Believe it or not, we got this from a charity shop in Spain.
From Bark, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Bark's charity shop. Yeah, the dog.
Now what it is, I clip it in here, and at night time, my iPad goes in there, and when this one wants to have an early night and go to the bedroom, I put my iPad in there. It sits here. I lie along the couch here, watch all my programmes and stuff. Brilliant.
Do you like it?
Oh, I love it. Yeah, it's I don't think I could do without that. I'd have to hold my iPad like that all night.
You're only a few euros, because you bought one off Amazon, like a bendy arm.
Oh, it was rubbish. Yeah, it broke.
Rubbish.
This is probably what Ulanzi, in it, a proper one. My news is CHICCO a gadget? We couldn't do without you, could we?
He's
Look.
a rat boy, isn't he?
Hello, baby. And regarding Chico, I just want to let you know we get so many of you who have got dogs are worried about travelling abroad with dogs. If you haven't got a pet passport like we have, you will have to have an electronic health certificate.
Animal health certificate, which is obtained from a vet in the UK before
now,
you
we
leave.
know nothing about these because we've never had to have one. Woody never came abroad with us, and Chico came from Spain, so he automatically came attached with a Spanish passport.
Yeah, so if ever you do adopt a dog from Spain, or you buy a dog from Spain or whatever, or a cat for that reason, you will have to get a pet pack, because you can't get an animal health certificate from a UK vet for an animal that's not seen.
No.
So to take back to the UK.
So we can't really answer a lot of your questions. It sounds like we're being a bit dismissive, but we do get a lot about pet passports. It's a bit of a grey area. This little man came with his own already, didn't you? Yes. Right, next question. Do you ever get scared while travelling? I do when I wake up at the middle of the night and see him staring at me.
Again, referring back to the recent video we put up, the stop when we got stopped by the German police, it was a bit worrying. I wouldn't say
I was scared.
It was the fear side of it compared to the, not so much outrage, but like I'm going to when we first got stopped and we kept checking, saying numbers and making a big, clearly you can see.
We got it in our head that, is the van actually stolen? And we missed something here. But
they're making a bit, and I went up to the police officer and I'm like, tapping me watch as he looked at me, as if say, look, we've got places to get going. And that sort of then I sort of confronted when we got in the compound. I went to the plainclothes police officer and I said to him, that it's a bit extreme, and I sort of queried so you probably find yourself in a similar situation. The fear sort of is outweighed by your rights and what you feel is right or wrong. Same as when we were up in
it's not knowing the rules and regulations of a different country.
Yeah, when we asked to speak to the management, when we was up in Stirling and at the shopping centre, and we asked to speak to the management, we got escorted to the boardroom, the meeting room, and people could say, "Well, I'd be frightened," but at the end of the day, you're frightened or not, you've got your own rights to stick up for, haven't you?
I tell you what, I think we'll both agree on this. What makes us most scared while travelling? Other drivers.
Yeah, it can do. Yeah, you've got to drive for everyone. We
had a few near misses yesterday, didn't we? Coming through.
2 or 3, yeah. But we drive a bit, because some of the rules, like when we saw the motorway, when it's busy on the motorway coming out of the Czech Republic, where if it's busy, the traffic gets busy, all the trucks pull over onto the hard shoulder, and everything's like a van.
It's illegal for them to overtake, isn't it?
Yeah, so everyone keeps going, but they leave a big gap in the middle in case there's any emergency.
But then you see people popping out in between the vans and coming back in just to jump one car. It's dangerous.
You get that in the UK,
and that's what scares me. Someone else driving like an idiot and writing our van off through their incompetence. Yeah, that's the scariest thing.
That's scary, isn't it? We do. We're not. I won't say we're scared, but touch wood, it's
not
never
just our
happened.
motorhome; it's our home.
Yeah, but we've not had to come across that, So
Mark Parkinson, my question is silly but interesting. Have you ever run out of fuel on your travels? No.
We've had it once or twice where you think, on this particular Fiat Ducato, it's saying you've got 100-mile range, and if you're on the motorway, in the space of probably 20-30 mile, it goes from that down to like 60 to like hardly anything to like 20, and then the warning light comes on. So you do worry about. I don't think we've ever been that close. I do carry a little small can of diesel because I use it because our diesel tanks are separate to the vehicle. So I use it for that, but we've always got 5 litre in the case of emergency. I don't think, strictly speaking, in some European countries...
Yeah, don't come at us.
Yeah, we know that, but it's in the gas locker with everything else, so, yeah.
It's just us forward thinking and covering all bases. So, yeah, that's been a bit of an insight again to what you want to know. Chico nearly decked himself then. We hope we've answered your questions on a few topics that you wanted to be updated on. Like Mark said, we'll keep going with this police thing, and we'll let you know what happens with that. If you're not on our Facebook page, please just download Facebook. Just have us on it.
Yeah.
Just so you can get daily updates. There's only so much I can put on YouTube posts. I will be posting on the Facebook as well daily where we are and what we're up to.
Much as daily as we can. It might not be every day, but
like today, I've put on there a little pet that Mark wants to fetch on for Chico that we met in Prague. So cute, so cute. The biggest river rat you've ever seen. So until then, guys, I think we'll leave that one here.
And again, we'll just ask for those of you who aren't subscribed, if you possibly can work out how to do it. If you're watching, as we know, most of you are on the big screen.
You can do it on the TV. You just have to do it with your remote.
Yeah.
We might do a quick short on that, actually, showing you how to actually subscribe to us through your TV, because it can be done. Or if you've got a younger granddaughter or grandson, they'll know. They're all clued up these kids, aren't they, on technology?
And get them to watch as well. Why not?
I think we'll leave it there for now, guys. And don't forget to tune in on Tuesday for the second part of Prague. As he said, make sure you're subscribed. Give us a thumbs up for this one. And hit the notification bell so you know when our vlogs are released. But for now, we'll catch you lot on the next one.